We'll come to order. It is Monday, November the 27th, 2023. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and the Kirk County Commissioners Court is now in session. If you would, please rise for the prayer and the pledge, which will be led by Commissioner Harris.
Lord, thank you for all that you provide us. Let us make decisions based upon your wisdom today. Please guide us, Lord. We place this meeting in your hands. We place our hearts and our minds in your hands so that you may direct us. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. First item of business is I ask everybody to turn your phone off or to vibrate so that it does not disturb the proceedings. And with that, we have the public input part of the program, of the agenda. And that is for the court to receive input from the public on any matter that is not on the agenda. If the item you wish to speak is on the agenda, we ask that you wait until that item is called. So with that, the floor is open for anyone that would like to address the court. There being no one, then we'll move on to Commissioner's comments. And I'll grant you a little bit of relief. We'll start with Commissioner Ford. They walk around backwards. You'll get used to this.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to report other than I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and spent quality time with your family and loved ones, and that's all I have today. Send a little rain.
That's all I was at too, is hope everyone had a good holiday. I did, very relaxing. Stayed at the ranch almost the entire time, if not the entire time. Hope everyone had a good holiday as well.
Good.
Okay, well, look, just for clarification, the burn ban is lifted for all precincts, though we still remain in drought stage 3. And urge everyone to use their water carefully. But I am very grateful for the rain that we have been receiving, so that's the good part. I wanted to give a little update on the Center Point Sewer Project. Now, most of the work has been completed to tie in service connections, and certainly all the major work is now done. However, unfortunately, due to numerous delays associated with phases 2 and 3, we missed the weather window to complete road repairs other than temporary cold mix repairs, and we're going to have to wait for better weather in the spring probably to remobilize the paving contractor. But again, anybody who needs to make a claim for damages or a warranty issue should still contact Grant Works Rosie Daly at 512-957-1465 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on weekdays. We are looking at the possibility of a very small phase 4. Funds are available. We've got about 10 million funds left for the overall project. But this would be a very small attempt to just get people connected who missed the opportunity to sign up either any of the initial phases. So there'll be more to come on that, and of course it's up to the court. I do want to acknowledge and thank our maintenance department for their efforts to decorate the courthouse grounds, and especially with all the other decorations around downtown. Boy, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So that's really great, and I commend the city that did an excellent job with the Christmas parade and the tree lighting ceremony. I had the pleasure of driving one of those floats, and I was frankly amazed at how many people turned out for the parade. It was packed, especially in the downtown area. So a lot of people enjoying the festivities, which I certainly did too. And that's all I've got.
Good. Here's your one.
I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody else did as well. I still have the lingering feeling that I need dessert with every meal, and I'm hoping that passes quickly. I went to the Christmas parade as well. I was down on Earl Garrett Street, and it was gorgeous. It was a great production for our small town to have going by. I was amazed by how much work goes into lighting up every one of those things going by. So anyway, totally enjoyed that, and hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving as well.
Good. Okay, with that, we'll move on to the consideration agenda. First item on the agenda is 1.1. Consider, discuss, take appropriate action on a request from Kerrville Pets Alive to use the courthouse grounds on Saturday, December the 9th for their annual pet food drive. Ms. Guerrero.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Karen Guerrero. I'm with Kerrville Pets Alive. My address is 307 Lakewood in Kerrville. I'm here to request the use of the courthouse grounds this Saturday and Sunday, December the 9th and 10th, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday and noon until 4 p.m. on Sunday for our annual Fill Their Bowls Pet Food Drive. We do this pet food drive annually, and we bring in thousands of pounds of pet food, and we distribute it to pet owners in need in Kerr County. We feel like that people and pets are extremely important in our community, and we feel like this is a great way to support them during the holiday season.
I move to approve the request from Kerrville Pets Alive to use the courthouse grounds on Saturday, December 9th, and Sunday, December 10th, for their annual pet food drive.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, Ms. Guerrero.
Thank you. May I have permission real quick to mention also on December the 8th that we're going to have a free pet vaccine and microchip clinic from 3 to 5 p.m. on a Friday at County Country Animal Hospital. And just look at our website, kerrvillepetsalive.org, for more information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is timed item 1.2. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action on a resolution recognizing the 50th anniversary of Major James Kerr, chapter of the National Society for the Daughters of the American Revolution. Let me introduce this. This is Dawn Collin, our county clerk's mother. Welcome her to the courtroom today.
My name is Dawn Collin, and I'm the regent of the Major James Kerr Chapter, National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. My address is 971 Monroe Drive. Thank you, Commissioners and Judge Kelly, for the opportunity to recognize the service and contributions of the Major James Kerr Chapter, NSDAR, on our 50th anniversary. Our chapter was founded December 7, 1973, by organizing Regent Ms. Herbert S. Long. We are a service organization whose members all trace their lineage to a patriot of the American Revolution. Our commitment to serve in the areas of education, historical preservation, and patriotism are exemplified through the 4,500 plus volunteer hours completed this year, and we are still counting. Our chapter has had members serve at both the state and national level, proudly representing Kerr County. Last year, our chapter was honored in Washington, D.C. with the Service Award for our cleanup of the Guadalupe River in support of our National Day of Service. This year, we volunteered with Habitat for Humanity on a House bill. We are active in our local schools with the American History Essay Contest and the DAR Good Citizen Scholarship and Constitution Week activities. We serve our beloved veterans at the VA and through local veteran organizations. Our support of active duty military through Project Patriot included our chapter sending warm-up clothing to Landstuhl Air Base in Germany for our wounded soldiers recuperating at the hospital rehab. Our historical preservation work at local cemeteries included cleaning of headstones of veterans and founding families of Kerr County. We use the same technique that is used at Arlington Cemetery. We spent last year cleaning at Glenrest Cemetery and just started this important work at Nichols Cemetery. It is our privilege and honor to represent our patriot ancestors in Kerr County during the Major James Kerr Chapter's 50th year of service. Thank you.
I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution as presented. Is there any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
You keep questionable company, I notice. That's my wife out there. Next item on the agenda is 1.3. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding the removal of the cattle guard near 603-604 Indian Creek in Precinct 4. And I believe
Mr. Henry.
this is Steve Hill.
Yes.
My name's Steve Henley, and I own the VH Rancho LLC, which is located at 603 Indian Creek is our main drive. There's a cattle guard there that has been there for I'm not sure how long time. I've met with Bridge and road guys. They've been very helpful. They informed me that in 2016, Kerr County is no longer open range. It's closed range. which requires folks to fence in, not to fence out anymore. So that happened in 2016. I've asked to have this cattle guard removed. In that, one of my neighbors, Mr. King, is running open stock in the area. I also understand that you can run open stock if the cattle guard if you own property on both sides of the road and there's a cattle guard at that junction. And so Mr. King and I have met. I have made it clear to Don and also to the road and bridge guys that I'd be happy to pay for 50% of a new cattle guard that would be a more regulated or more in line with regulation. The current cattle guard, I think, is only 12 feet wide. And the county of the bridge, road and bridge has asked that it become a 16-foot if it's redone. So that's one of the issues, and I said I'd pay for half of it. Mr. King and I have met. I've got a survey crew coming out to remark my southern line because it is on the south side of Indian Creek Road at that point. And but this will require some additional fencing on Mr. King's part. I've calculated that if we do put the new cattle guard at that point, it would require him 2,300, roughly 2,380 feet of fencing. And I have currently built to date 4,946 feet of fence that I have built solely on my own, separating my property from Mr. King already. So I think that I've already made the promise that I'd pay for half the cattle guard. I've more than paid for half the fencing that's been required to do this. And I would like to have the cattle guard removed, permission, put in a new cattle guard so that Mr. King can continue to operate as he has in the past, and for him to build the required fence to make that cattle guard work.
We've met out there, Kelly from Road and Bridge and several superintendents, and as well as Charlie, and we discussed it. And where the cattle guard is, it's right by the entrance of Mr. Henley's property, and he owns both sides of the fence. And there's an old cattle guard there. It's no telling how many welding rods have been put in it over the last few years to keep it functional. Kelly took a picture of, I believe it was a UPS driver or somebody going across the cattle guard, and they fill it up. There's not much room on either side. In discussing this with Mr. Henley, he has, looked at several different things. He's proposed moving that cattle guard down further down Indian Creek, and then it would be brought up to standards of now. That cattle guard is not up to any type of standards. He generously offered to pay for half of it. And there's other properties back there. I don't remember how many of them. Mr. King's one of them. I think Mr. King wants to say a few words on it as well. Do you want to step up to the mic, Mr. King? And
This is Kenneth King.
Yeah, my name's Kenneth King. My family has owned the property where the cattle guard enters on. And Steve bought some of the land from my cousins. It's been in our family since 1898. Anyway, the cattle guard, where it is I don't have a lot of objection to moving it except for the money part of it. Where it is, or it's going to be down the road, whatever Steve said, 2,000 feet or something like that. It's just going to everybody is gonna be using the cattle guard where it is or where it's gonna be in the future. So it's, because my place, it's almost impossible to fence my place. So much of that road is, floodplain. It's like you hear about 100-year floodplain. That road is in like a 2-year floodplain. So it'd be hard to have a fence on that. So I pretty much have to have a cattle guard. My main objection, I wouldn't really object to having a cattle guard in the other place. It's just, this is almost solely to accommodate Steve Henley. I talked to my neighbors, the ones that live at the other end of the road, it's Donna Walker and Greg Walton, and they're fine, whatever. They like it the way it is. They wouldn't mind if we moved it. They don't care. So, and I'm more or less the same way. My son-in-law and daughter live there, and they use that road, and they're fine with it. However, so everybody's fine with it where it is. It's my main thing is, if I got to pay to put in a new cattle guard somewhere else, I get no benefit out of it. It just costs me money. So that's my main objection to the whole thing. So if Mr. Henley wanted to pay for it, we could be happy neighbors. So that's about all I got to say on it. If anybody had any questions about it, though, I'd be happy to answer.
I have a question, because without looking at the map, it's kind of hard to envision.
Right.
But could the cattle guard be moved past your entrance, but not 2,000 feet?
It could be. It would be hard to do that. It's almost like it's wooded. They'd have to, while they were installing it, they would have to, build a road around it because it's kind of narrow there.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot of area that also floods there. The first, if you moved it like halfway, that's in a low water crossing. But then once you get on top, you might as well go ahead. I'm not sure it's 2,000 feet. I mean, he measured it, I didn't, so. But it doesn't seem like it's that far.
Well, it's a deal that, y'all went to closed range in 2016, and we still have a lot of cattle guards out, especially in my precinct. Heck, on the Texas Road, 479, it's still cattle guards there because of all the low water crossing and stuff. You'd be steadily re-fencing, and Texas realizes that. They haven't said it. Everybody out of the pool,
Well, I want to make sure that I understand what the default position is at this point. So I'm speaking to our county attorney and ask questions. Back in the open range days, you could graze your cattle on open range, and it was the landowner's responsibility to fence that cattle out.
Correct.
That's the old way, the open range. What movie was that? The Open Range.
several.
But when the law changed and we went to a closed range, that shifts the burden of proof, as I understand it, to the landowner to fence their cattle in. Is that correct? Okay. That being the case, then every landowner, as of 2016, has the duty to care for your, no?
There's a provision, if you own both sides of the road, you don't have to fence it, you can just put a cattle guard.
Okay.
According to the one
That's the law?
that was passed.
I think so, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's in there.
Okay. So you own both sides of the road?
I do.
Where he's talking about moving it to.
Where the cattle guard is today, Mr. Henley owns both sides of the road. For how many feet? Probably.
About 2,500 feet
Yeah.
from the cattle guard down.
So why do you want to move it as opposed to just, I think I heard that you needed to widen it because it's only 4 foot wide or something.
12 feet wide.
12 foot, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so why do you want to move it as opposed to just widening it and putting in a new one?
Because I don't want cattle running on both sides of my property on the fence lines.
That, the 12 foot wide, whenever I replaced, there was an old gate there beside the cattle guard. When I replaced that gate, somebody from Road and Bridge told me I should make that post so it was removable So I did that. So if anybody ever wants to go through there with a whatever double wide, they could just remove that post, and then you have cattle guard, open the gate. So that's like 25 feet or something.
So you don't need a cattle guard.
I do not.
You need a cattle guard.
I need to get.
But he owns the property on both sides of where the existing cattle guard is. That's the dilemma. isn't it?
And Mr.
Right,
Henley
but it
has
doesn't.
offered, there was a high estimate, according to Road and Bridge, that having a new one built and installed would run around $10,000. One bigger and better than what we have today. And Mr. Henley has graciously offered to pay for half of that if the other neighbors in the back would pay for the other half. And it's a guesstimate at $10,000. Right, Mr.
Well, but the issue here is moving the cattle guard,
Right.
not replacing it.
Right. It's going to be moved. Now, I need a cattle guard, and I can do that since I own both sides.
It would be really helpful if we could have a drawing of exactly where the property lines are made.
Let's kill it.
Because, I mean,
I didn't bring that. And we had someone when we were out there.
I think I'm sensing that there's a legal question here. That if you own both sides of the property where the cattle guard is, and you don't want the cattle guard, then legally can he ask us to remove the cattle guard? If you want a cattle guard, you're gonna have to put it where you own both sides of the property. Am I missing something?
Well, Jason's been working with Commissioner Harris on this, and Jason has said all along this is really a private civil issue and not one that involves Kerr County or the commissioners.
Well, but it's a county road, right?
And
And there's
Road
a
and
cattle
Bridge
guard on
has
it.
indicated that they cannot remove the cattle guard at this time.
Pardon?
Road and Bridge has indicated that they cannot remove the cattle guard at this time.
Well,
Until this gets
okay, can you come
resolved.
until it's resolved.
All right.
Historically, we have not gone out and proactively removed cattle guards unless there was because it's expensive to remove, and then you have a hole in the road, and you gotta redo the road. So we haven't been real proactive in removing them. The fence in, fence out issue really wasn't as much with cattle guards as it was, prior to that, the county changing that and making it one rule for the entire county. Every precinct had a different rule, and some had let goats run free, some let pigs run free, some let mules run free, some let cattle run free, and it ran just depending on where you were. And it wasn't just, the problem was, it wasn't just the precinct as we know now. They're the old precinct for, like 308, 313, how they were back when, in the 20s. And no one knows even how, trying to research that was impossible. There's no lines, no boundaries. So that's the reason it was done away with. It wasn't really from a road standpoint. It was done from a simplistic standpoint so that everybody has to fence in their cattle or livestock.
This is an unintended consequence.
Yeah, but we have not proactively gone out and removed livestock. Now, I would agree with what you're saying. Mr. King is obligated to fence his cattle in. That's the current county rule.
When I first met out there with Mr. Henley, and Mr. Henley, I think, backed me up, one of the first things I told him, I hate to see winners and losers in this situation. And that's what kind of where we went when he offered to pay half on his behalf. He didn't have to do that. And then if the others would step up and to the plate. I think investing or helping pay for a new cattle guard and an installation, Mr. King, would be a heck of a lot cheap, probably the cheapest option rather than just removing it and you having a fence or something like that. Because of the terrain and everything you have of your land, it'd be really difficult and stuff. And probably not a good answer. You'd probably be redoing fences all the time if there was no cattle guard, period.
True.
Yeah, so, and I don't, other than you, I don't know what the others have said back there as far as their wanting or being willing to participate in the cattle guard. Do you have any indication, Mr. Henley?
No, I don't.
Okay.
It wouldn't benefit them. I don't know why they would want to.
Right.
It really doesn't affect most of those, they're at the end of the road, and, you know, they're gated, and that's where Mr. King's property ends, at that gate.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to understand is the public aspect of this issue versus the private aspect of the issue. We're the county, and that's a county road, and I understand we have a presence in this discussion. But I'm trying to understand what Jason's position is with regard to this controversy.
You're required to give adjacent landowners 90 days notice if you're going to remove a cattle guard from a county road. That's what's required of you. A public hearing isn't even required unless someone requests it. So I think then the issue becomes repairing the county road after you remove the cattle guard, and that's one for road and bridge. But that would be your obligation for the removal of a cattle guard from the county road.
If the property is not, or the landowner does not fence in their livestock, it becomes a civil issue if they damage someone else's property.
Yes.
So that,
It could conceivably be a criminal issue.
if they destroy it.
If somebody gets killed out there that runs into a cow.
Oh, yeah, then definitely, yes.
But I'm trying to understand what's the scope of the county's involvement in this private matter.
Unless the county is ready to remove the cattle guard itself, nothing presently. And in that event, y'all have to give notice to the adjacent landowners. 90 days.
So if somebody has to have that cattle guard removed, then we have a public meeting, and notice goes out to the adjacent landowners.
Yes, sir.
We'll make a determination at that time. Is there anything even right before the court today?
Isn't that what Mr. Henley is asking us to do? I mean, this is about the removal of the cattle.
He is,
Jeff,
he is asking that of
So
you.
we have to set a public meeting.
No, you don't, one is, well, this could be the public meeting, but if you want to take action and decide to remove it from the county road today, that is on the agenda. I think you have other things you have to consider, like the cost of that to the county and the county road and what that does to the county road. You might want to talk to Kelly. I haven't. Maybe Commissioner Harris has. But I don't know if y'all are really ready to make a decision on this today without more information.
My hope is that these gentlemen can work out some kind of agreement amongst themselves as where it's a mute issue for us, other than probably the repair of where the one would be removed if they put up another one. So,
Well, we would remove the existing and then fix that section of.
Phil, could you go to the podium? The public wants to hear what we're talking about.
If it was either gonna just be removed or removed and a new one built to the current standard, Road and Bridge would remove the existing one and then rebuild that section of road where that cattle guard is. If they work it out that a new cattle guard is what they wanna do, then it would be built to the current TxDOT spec, and then they would pay to have it installed. And that's as far as I got on this.
I'm thinking we should defer this decision until one of the other meetings in December and have a good cost estimate for the removal and the installation of the new cattle guard, wherever that needs to be, so that we can have maps or better understand this issue. I'll go out and drive it and look at it myself. But I do kind of agree with our county attorney that we're maybe not in a position today to make a decision, and I would hope that the landowners out there that are going to be impacted on this could come to some agreement on how the costs get handled before that next meeting. So my recommendation is.
Just a minute, could you go to the podium?
Yes, sir.
Questions I'd like to ask you.
Yes, sir.
I understand that what's on the agenda is to remove the cattle guard, okay?
That's one of them, yes.
But as it is right now, that's not a property boundary between you and the neighbor, is it?
The cattle guard itself,
Yes.
It would not, I guess not, there's a easement there for the road, county road.
Okay. But you own the property on both sides of that cattle guard.
I do.
And so with the open range at this point, cattle on Mr. King's property can graze up to that cattle guard on
That
your
is
property,
correct.
is that right?
Yes, sir.
In between his fences, you know, the side of the road.
Yeah, that's, I've
Yeah.
seen that, so I don't know
I
what's
got you.
figured out.
I'm just trying to give you that. It's basically a lane from the cattle guard down to a creek, basically with Mr. Henley's place fence on each side. And the cattle, it's a natural gathering point. I mean, they'll graze up there and then it's a dead end. And they'll camp out there, you know, and he's got a very nice entranceway there with a gate, electric gate and everything, and cattle are right there, probably in his way sometimes when they're there, trying to get in and out of his, or into his place and stuff like that. And it's just a natural deal that cattle are gonna do that.
My question, Mr. Henley, is are these cattle trespassing on your property?
Yes,
And they have not been fenced in?
correct.
Well, that's a civil.
Not today. He doesn't have cattle today. He has in the past. There's horses there now that belong to his renter.
His property is fenced. They can't get on his, I mean, the only place the cattle can get is on the road and the bar ditches on either side.
That's not quite accurate. Part of my place is not fenced, all the way down to the corner and also on the.
But it sounds like to me that this is a civil matter.
Okay.
And if we're going to be asked to remove the cattle guard, we probably need to get notice out to the neighbors and have a full-blown public hearing.
All right.
And you're welcome to do that if you'd like. Do we have anything else that we need to do on this topic?
No. And again, I would hope that you guys could put your heads together and come up, resolve something and where it's a moot point. But if push comes to shove, then we need to give, take action to remove it, if that's your request, and then give people 90 days notice, and then, you know. But with the offer on the table, Mr. King, no matter how much that bitter pill might be, that might be the best option. Just my 2 cents.
And that offer will come off the table if we have to go that route.
I understand that.
I understand.
All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank both of you. We understand. We'll move on to the next topic, which is item 1.4. Consider discuss take appropriate action to surplus radios from the Kirk County Sheriff's Office and a rolling chair from the Auditor's Office. Ms. Mendoza.
I have 37 radios that are ready to be surplus from the Sheriff's Office and 1 rolling chair from the Auditor's Office.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to surplus the items as presented. Any discussion? Those
Just have a question. Are these radios still in working condition?
Yes, they are, but they're not going to be able to be used with our new trunking system.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, in the interim, until that's in place, is there any benefit to offering them to our volunteer fire departments?
Yeah, we could look at that, but like I said, they're not going to be usable here shortly.
Well, a lot of the volunteer fire department radios won't be usable on the new trunking system, but they're still available locally for their dedicated frequencies, so it might be something to make them aware of and consider offering them to volunteer fire departments first.
Okay, we can look at that and
I
see.
mean, I don't know, they may say, oh, we don't want them, but until they know what's available,
We'll take it up with CARFA. How about that?
that'd be great.
Okay, thanks.
So we still have surplus the rolling chair, right?
Well, we surplus the radio.
They're surplus, it's just,
Okay, yeah,
the disposal will be subject to CARFA and whether they could be utilized by the volunteer fire.
Right, we'll get back with you. How about that?
So we've got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Yes, ma'am?
If they are offered to CARFA for use, just let me know I have an agreement, so that can be used for that purpose.
All right, thank you.
Those opposed? There being none, unanimous. Thank you. Item 1.5, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to accept the August 31, 2023 adult probation statement of financial position for filing purposes.
Yes. You have before you the statement of financial position as of August 31st, 2023. This is to comply with their funding source. And so we just ask that you accept the report.
Motion to accept the report as presented.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the adult probation statement of financial position as presented. Any discussion? Ms. Bodie, anything to add?
I do not, other than everything is going well with the probation department. Financially, we're in a good spot, and we appreciate all the county does to support us.
We appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
So those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Unanimous. Thank you.
Excuse me, what's your name?
Andrea Bodie.
Thank you.
And she's the department head for adult probation. Next item is 1.6, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to reappoint Kathleen Vincent, Jeff Mitchell, and Amy Palmer to the Emergency Services District Number 3. Reappointments to be effective beginning January 1 of 2024. Commissioner Paces.
Yeah, I attended their ESP commissioners meeting last Monday, and it was brought up that these 3 positions will be expiring January 1st or December 31st expiring. And so all 3 individuals have graciously volunteered to serve another 2-year term. And so I'm here to ask the court to approve the reappointment of Kathleen Vincent, Jeff Mitchell, and Amy Palmer to what becomes a second term on ESD number 3.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the reappointment of the existing members of ESD 3 as presented. Any discussion?
Rich, are these 3 the original ones that started out on a 2-year term? You started?
Yes.
Okay.
Because 2 of them were on a 1-year term, and they've already
Gotcha.
been replaced, and will now be on a 2-year term going forward.
Okay.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Moving on to 1.7, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to accept the FY23 State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, or what we call SCAP, grant award. Ms. Putnam.
This is just a technical thing that we've doing this year again, is to have a reimbursement grant. We've been awarded the grant. There's not an actual amount that has been established yet. It's estimated to be around $30,000. This will be from the actually 21 to 22 year, but it's for 2023. Last year we received $26,317, and so somewhere around 30 is what we're looking at. We just need to accept it.
I move for approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the SCAP grant as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Next item on the agenda is 1.8, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action on the status of the Hill Country Regional Public Defender's Office located at 550 Earl Garrett. I put this on the agenda. I spoke with Vanessa Scalvo. When we first purchased the building over on 550 Earl Garrett, we housed the entire building with the employees of the Public Defender's Office. Later, we moved that to just the top half, the second floor, half of the building. And then recently, with the new space that they leased in Vernon, in Kendall County, they moved to just one side of upstairs hallway, to 1/4 of the building. What they're requesting now is, and the issue is affordable housing. They cannot get young attorneys at the salary rates that they pay to live in Kerr County, or for that matter, Gillespie County, or even Ventura County. The ones that commute from San Antonio are able to get to Hondo and get to Bernie a whole lot easier than the other places. So that's one of the reasons that they have reduced their presence in that building, which has been a godsend for us because when the bond issue didn't pass, we've been able to continue to expand and grow by using those facilities. What they want to do now is they're having a problem with security. Now that we have mixed use, the front door is locked, and so somebody has to get up and unlock the door every time they show up at the front door. And then we've tried to have some privacy doors upstairs where the PDO is now. But but people, they forget to close the doors, people wander around, and so they're having problem with the traffic on their side of the hall. And what they're asking to do is there's a property released just down the street that Bruce Drakey owns, and Bruce was very instrumental in helping us get that building, that they would like to lease for the same price that they're paying us, and move a satellite office out there so that as the lawyers come in from Bernie or they come in from Hondo, there is a place for them to meet. We will have a permanent staff present there. Vanessa will still be there. But that would free up that one hallway that is presently being used for the PDO and make use of that building much easier for everyone so we can unlock the front door to let the public in without having to keep it locked all the time. And we won't have those security issues upstairs. So that their request to me, and I put it on the agenda, is to approve, and I think it's got to go to the oversight board. At least that's what I told her. I thought it had to go to oversight. But the other thing that we have that I need to full disclosure on is we never got a signed lease from the PDO. They wouldn't sign a lease. That's a long time ago. Then there's been recent discussion within the last year or so about signing a lease, which we haven't done. So technically, if they wanted to give us 30 days notice, they could. And that's, I guess that's an option. I appreciated the fact that they called, explained their situation, and give us an opportunity to, I guess, reclaim the entire building, and we can purpose it for whatever needs the county has. So,
Which building are you referring to that they?
550.
No, I know 550 is a PDO office, but are you talking about the building next door that used to be a church, or which?
No.
What's the other location you're going to move them?
It's at 821 Earl Garrett. It's up the hill.
Okay.
And it's probably 2 blocks up the hill on the other side of the street. And Bruce Drakey and his company have office there for some time, and they're vacating it and offering it for rent.
How much room do they need?
I don't know. I don't know the exact square footage.
I think that
That house is sufficient for them.
I mean, right now, we are getting revenue for that, from them, for the building. And the cost to make it secure is minimal, $10,000, I think. And you have to, there's a pretty big area, you have to put a security door upstairs. Which we had talked about doing. To me, we have no current, as much as the PDO seems to change what they are doing, which is at least twice a year it seems right now, and where they're located and moving people out, I'd rather keep them in that building and make an improvement, because I think that putting that door in will be a benefit to us long term anyway. This is my thought. And we don't have a lease with them. True, they can just leave, but at the same time,
We could improve it for them.
we make improvement if we are making some revenue off that building. We have no immediate plans for that second floor.
And they're all under one roof.
Help me here, do we own, the county own the building at 821 Earl Garrett?
No.
Oh, then I'm with you.
Yeah.
I see it
But I agree, we need to make it secure, and there's Shane has looked at it as a way to do it.
He did a great job securing the 2 hallways on the ground floor.
Right.
I think everybody's happy with that.
Yeah. It's a little bit harder on the second floor, that's because where the doors are, but still, it could be done and take some sheet rock, so. I mean,
Well,
you are right, if they want to move, they can just move without us having, doing anything.
well, Commissioner, we need to find out if our improvements would enhance their stay.
Yeah.
Well, there is no motion. So do we pass?
Sounds good to me.
Talk to them, and I can do it, and I say you can.
And so we'll pass on item 1.8. That brings us to Item 1.9, consider discuss and take appropriate action to approve contracts with the Ingram and the Mountain Home Volunteer Fire Departments. This is routine, they trickle in.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve those PFD fire contracts. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Moving on to item 1.10, consider discuss and take appropriate action to progress the issue of public improvement districts and possible incorporation into the Kerr County subdivision and manufactured home rental community regulations for Kerr County. Mr. Paces.
Yeah, I put this on the agenda just to initiate a discussion amongst the court to do something on this item. Mr. Binford, I guess an attorney, presented the concept of the PID, which is Public Investment District.
Improvement.
Improvement. Yeah. Improvement district that gives us an opportunity that the people that would directly benefit from an improvement, such as road reconstruction or otherwise, would end up funding it as opposed to the rest of the county and our taxpayers within the county funding it. So I certainly thought it was a great idea. We had that workshop back on March 6th of this year. But we really haven't had any further discussion or made any plan on how we would go about incorporating this into the county subdivision and manufactured home rental community regulations. And I think we need to take a hard look at it and engage somebody to help us with the process. I'm also informed by our county engineer that there are a few other changes that need to be incorporated into the county subdivision and manufactured home rental community regulations. I'm told that at least one law has passed that has an implication on our regulations, and there were a number of other little corrections that also needed to be made, whether in the form of an addendum or just a revised set of regulations, which I don't really care which way we do it. But I would like for the court to agree, come up with a plan to initiate this and see if we can't do something to avoid another Eagle Ridge Road debacle.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should explore that and any other changes we need to make.
Charlie, did you want to address this?
No.
That's all I wanted to know. Just wanted to know.
No, I'm here to, what the court wants to do, that's what we're gonna do.
Well, by way of explanation, because we're kind of picking up mid-thought.
So this is the regulations that y'all just passed, not to, and so why wasn't it added in at that time?
Wasn't a problem with that.
Well,
it's always been on the back burner.
These are public improvement districts, PIDs, PIDs. They were not part of the subdivision rule revision. We did not address it at that time. And we worked with Chuck Kimbrough and the Bickerstaff firm to revise the rules, with which we are well pleased, by the way. PIDs are a tool that counties, local government entities, municipalities, and counties have to create a district, a public improvement district. It has to have unanimous approval. Well, we can't do it out on Twin Creeks because we don't have unanimous approval out there. And the individual people that buy the lots in that subdivision pay these, repay for the cost of the improvements when the subdivision is built. That's basically how it works. And you heard of MUDs, municipal utility districts. It's very similar. You create a district, you finance the improvements to, which would be streets and roads, drainage that you put in there. Then the people that buy into that subdivision actually repay the developer for the cost of those improvements over time. And they can be, there are tools that are available to the county. And when we did the subdivision rules, we did not look into PIDs at that time. Upon the recommendation of Judge Schuhart over in Demon County, Clay Bedford, who does their PID work, came and presented this to us, and we had a workshop on it back in the spring. We simply haven't followed up on it, and I commend Mr. Paces for following up on it because it's something that I think is important for the public to know that we are considering. But anything at this point that would get into the subdivision rules, I don't like to switch horses midstream. I just continue to work with Chuck and his firm on the subdivision rules. The PID was something that we were looking at, this is something we wanted to do.
It was separate outside.
Yeah.
And you alluded to Medina County, I've had conversations, some with Chris Schubart, but a couple other commissioners, and they're blowing and going. You think we're having a lot of new subdivisions. Down there is one of the hottest spots in the nation, and that's, every one of them doesn't fit. And I would love to see it.
The PID isn't just for the roads in the subdivisions, isn't it the access to the subdivision as well?
Can be.
Yeah, it's a little broader term, I think, but
We need to have lawyer counsel us on the scope of it.
Because it gets me nervous on that if you go just internally on subdivision. To me, I'm surprised developers don't want to proactively use it.
Right.
Because it's helping them. If it's
Exactly.
going for roads, for access to subdivision, that becomes a really thorny issue because of the length of some of our roads and the condition of some of our roads. And trying to bring them up to a certain standard and putting that on one subdivision.
yeah,
Makes me, I'm just concerned.
I don't know.
I share the concern, but I think we still need to address it.
I
and
agree.
to get some counsel, legal counsel on how we would best address it.
I agree moving forward with the discussion on it.
Do we need to get Bedford with our people, or what do we need to do to get this ball rolling?
Well, Chuck's introduced me to his partner in his firm as the PIDs. Whether it's Benford or whether it's Bickerstaff firm, that's 6 1/2 dozen together. I'm concerned about whatever we do, we want it to dovetail discreetly with our existing subdivision rules.
Well, in Chuck's firm, they have an individual who has expertise
Yes.
and has worked a number of these bids.
I think that's fairly common for law firms to do municipal work, public work. I think we probably find it with firm that represents Bob's office, and they all have somebody that does this kind of work.
Well, then why don't we, after the first of the year, invite them down and do an off Monday meeting? And also get Bickerstaff to tell us what other changes may be required based on legislation.
Okay.
Okay, so do we need to take any action today?
I think so.
7 days.
So the schedule is going to be subject to them. Probably more than, we're usually around our
But
office.
we're all, there's a consensus that we want to follow up on this and have a meeting with somebody to talk about this
Yeah.
next year. Okay, very good. Then,
Did we have somebody who wanted to speak on this? Still walking?
Yeah, I turned in a form.
okay. Tom?
Yeah, Tom Jones, 105 Chula Vista, Precinct 1. I've looked into this PID system quite a bit, and Jonathan, with what you were talking about, it does cover those other roadways too. But the biggest problem we have right now is we've got other developments that are potential developments out there right now. We're going to end up with another Eagle Ridge situation. And so I'm really encouraged that y'all are all in favor of looking into this, because it should have been done prior to this, and we wouldn't be where we're at. We cannot afford more lawsuits and then taxing the rest of the county for particular subdivision roads that I'll never drive on. Because you're gonna have country lanes all over the county right now that need to be brought up to collector status roads. And that's gonna be a regular thing. If you were right, Judge, whenever you talked about the future development, some of your articles, that's going to be a regular thing, and we're going to be looking at continued lawsuits whenever we say we cannot afford to build that road yet. So the PID system, I've seen several, done a lot of research on it. It works. It's something that would accommodate us. It would take that tax burden off of me for development over in Precinct 4 that I may never ever see. It does add, but more than that, it's a 20 to 40 year payout on most of those PID systems. So it's not something that stays with those people forever, like a MUD does, where it becomes a tax. It's an assessment, and so they can actually use it as a write-off on their taxes too. So there's a lot of positives to that too that need to be looked at. But if you're gonna get with Chuck Kimbrough, I think they're excellent. They'll do a good job. So that was all of it. Thank you.
you. Okay, it's time for our morning break. We're going to take about a 5-minute break. We'll get reconvene at 10 o'clock. The next item on the agenda is the 10 o'clock timed item, 1.11. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding a request to the court to waive platting oversight and approval to the city of Kerrville for an amending plat for Saddlewood Estates, Section 2. Mr. Hastings.
Thank you, Judge. This proposal adjusts the lot line between two lots, Lot 8R, 5.5 acres, and Lot 9, 3.03 acres, will be amended to Lot 8R2, 3.85 acres, and Lot 9R, 4.68 acres. Both lots will continue to front Beverly Hills Lane. These lots are located in Kerrville's extraterritorial jurisdiction and would typically be platted through both the city of Kerrville and Kerr County. However, in an effort to be more efficient and save owner dollars, there is a request for the court to waive platting oversight and approval to the city of Kerrville. The Environmental Health Department will remain involved in the review process. The county engineer requests the court to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding the request to waive platting oversight and approval to the city of Kerrville for an amending plat for Saddlewood Estates, Section 2, Block 5, Lot 8R, and Lot 9, Volume 7, page 39, Precinct 1.
I got a question for you. I went over there and visited with this gentleman. This is basically just a cost-saving move, so he doesn't have to pay both entities, correct?
Yes, yes, ma'am, and it saves time also.
Yeah. I like that. He's close to it.
Okay, I'm familiar with the details.
Yeah, yeah. I make a motion that we approve item 111.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the waiver of the platting oversight and approval to the city of Kerrville for Saddlewood property as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Next timed item at 10 o'clock is 112. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to amend court order number 40313, which is abandoned, vacated, and discontinued Tucker Street, to include the requirements outlined in the Texas Transportation Code, Section 251.058B. Mr. Paces.
Yeah, this was heard in our last Commissioners Court meeting on November 13th, and the order was issued, but we were then contacted by the attorney from Maldonado's. His name is Mark Andrews, and he made the request to include language from the Texas Transportation Code regarding the closing, abandoning, and vacating public roads. So I move to amend the court order. We can use the language that we have, but include and this is from the Texas Transportation Code 251.058. So we would include in the order, a copy of the order shall be filed in the deed records of the county and serves as the official instrument of conveyance from the county to the owner of the abutting property. The order shall, 1, include the name of each property owner who receives a conveyance under this section. 2, include the dimensions of the property being conveyed to each property owner. And 3, be indexed in the deed records of the county in a manner that describes A, the county conveying the property as grantor, and B, the property owner receiving the conveyance as grantee. That's my motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to amend the existing court order on the Maldonado property. Any discussion?
I have just a comment. I think that Ian has already filed it or intended to file that court order in the property records related to that property. We talked about it after, between Ian and Charlie and I.
File the original court order
The court order from abandoning the road, yes.
from the first one. So this was to file this one in addition to that.
Yes.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 1.13 is also a timed item at 10 o'clock. That's consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to open and read the annual bids for road materials. Ms. Hoffman.
At this time, we ask the court to open and read all material bids received. All bid prices are to begin January 1 of 2024 and be in effect until December 31st of 2024. We will return to Commissioners Court on Wednesday, December 11th, 2023 to award the bids.
quite a few, so I'll take a few minutes. First one is from Martha Marietta. They're bidding base material, limestone 3/4 down, unit cost. I'm just gonna read the unit cost. Well, I'll read the total cost, which is delivery and so much. Limestone 3/4 down, $23.32. LRA base, inch and 3/4 down, $42.48. A2 base, $23.32. Hot mix, laid asphaltic concrete, black base type AA, total prices $110 for $110.13. Cold mix type CC, $110.13. Cold mix type CC plus, $110.13. And cold mix type D, $110.13. Next from Edmund Yensky. Base material, 3/4 inch down, total cost $25.30. Inch and 3/4 down, $23.30. Looks like they did on some other stuff. Oh, the other, it's repeating the same thing. That was all they did on. Next bids from Vulcan. For trap rock grade 4, total cost is $80.54, and trap rock grade 5 is $88.54. And again, there's a unit cost and also delivery cost for all of these. Black base type AA, $103.05. Cold mix type CC plus, $103.05. Cold mix type D plus, $104.05. From Ergon Asphalt and Emulsions. Emulsion oils, CRS-2, $2.82. CRS-2P, $3.22. AEP, $3.52. CSS-1H, $2.87. MS-2, $3.17. From P2 Emulsions. P2 Emulsions, CRS-2, $3.29. AEP, $2.24. CSS-1H, $2.96. MS-2, $3.10. from Wright Asphalt Products. CRS-2, $2.993. CRS-2P, $3.293. AEP, no bid. CSS-1H, $2.993. And MS2, no bid. From Wilson Culverts. 15-inch arch, $19.45, $19.45. 18-inch arch, $23.10. 24-inch arch, $30.45. 30-inch arch, $37.89. 15-inch coupling band, $22.25. 18-inch coupling band, $33.15. 24-inch coupling band, $44.18. 30-inch coupling band, $55.34. Next from Brontex Materials. Crushed paving rock, 5/8 inch, $54. Crushed paving rock, 1/2 inch, $54. Crushed paving rock, 3/8, $54. Base material, 1 3/4 down, $31.25. Hot mix laid asphalted concrete, black base type AA, $94. Cold mix type CC, $94. Cold mix type CC plus, $94. Cold mix type D, $94. Next
that one.
is from Wheatcraft. Base material, 3/4 inch down. Unit cost is $12.75. 1 3/4 down is $10.75, and the delivery, they have a delivery schedule attached. Those prices, this unit cost, not the total prices. That's it. Okay, motion to accept all bids and affirm the road and bridge recommendation.
And I do also want to, we made a mistake when the day for December 11th, that actually is a Monday, not a Wednesday, but it still is December 11th.
Okay.
We'll come back and award the bids.
Like you said, Wednesday.
Yeah.
We've got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second to accept the bids as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay. We got about a 6-inch stack here.
Is that how big
Yeah, that's probably
A little bit more.
Next item on the agenda is item 1.14. Consider discuss take appropriate action to approve funding in the job description for the Operation Lone Star Temporary Crime Analyst Digital Forensic Examiner. Sheriff.
Yes, this is what I came to the court last time about our OS funding, just kind of seeing for your approval to approve this position. This one's a good fix. This is a guy we got in mind. He's already retired, kind of part-time, where he can only work so many months out of the year, and I intend on paying this with our OLS funding.
I move for approval.
I'll second. Got a motion and a second to approve the funding and job description for the OLS Crime Analyst Digital Forensic Examiner as presented. Just by way of clarification, I know that I got one call wanting to know why these were new employees. These are already in the budget.
Yes.
Right. So these are filling
In the
positions that are
operational.
in the budget.
in the Operation Lone Star.
So that the public understands, these are not new positions. These are positions that were approved in the budget that we're now implementing.
Yes.
So, any other discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Item 1.15, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve funding and the job description for Operation Lone Star Criminal Interdiction Deputy, and to continue to fund the criminal interdiction deputy position if grant funding is not renewed in the next grant period. Sheriff.
Okay, this one's a little more difficult. After talking to the auditor, I understand where it says continue to fund. The court may have a problem with that. What I want to explain to y'all, so I'll give you the big picture is, let's use Campbell County next to us. Several years ago, they got 4 Operation Lone Star for the OLS deputies. The court, who knows how long this will be. I think it's been going 5 or 6 years now for them. We're in year 2. I continue. I think we've got $1.2 million in 2 years. That's really good. So I think it's going to continue to go. Talking to our local state senator Flores, he knows it's at least here and next year. We think it's going to continue to go. When I try to hire this is going to be an experienced deputy. I can't just say, hey, come here for 12 months and then, we'll figure it out. I have to look at options to continue to fund this. I can give you several ways. I can tell you Kimball County said, hey, he went to his court and said, okay, we'll pick up those spots. Y'all may not feel comfortable doing that. I can't tell you when the money's going to run out. It's been going for 5 to 6 years now. Ways I can tell you I can continue to fund it afterwards is, the court has verbally agreed to give me a deputy we talked for 5 years trying to get my staff up to 7. You could say, hey, Sheriff, you got to absorb that spot then, you can't fill it. If I'm full at that time, you say the next time you have a spot, you can't fill it. Senate Bill 22, I've agreed to give it to y'all year by year, give it to you. It can always be funded by that. I can't tell you when, it might be 2 or 3 years down the line. So what I'm looking for the court to approve is this position. At this time, I can pay for it with Operation Lone Star funding. I don't know how many years I can continue to do that, but I can't go to one of my experienced officers and say, hey, this is basically, 12 months, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with you after that. There's other ways I can absorb it. What I'm thinking about in the next budget, in the next workshop, is coming to the court, which I wanted to do this last time, come to the court and say, hey, court, I'm asking for this OLS deputy, I'm asking for 2 OLS, whatever I ask for your approval pending I get this funding. And then maybe we don't have to worry about it. I'm just looking at options. If I don't get the funding, I lose the funding. Hey, Sheriff, you need to next time you get an opening, not fill it, or it can only be funded if I get the position of the money. I'll be happy to
To
answer.
me, what you're saying is the same with every position in the county. Right. If we don't approve it in the budget, I think that's unnecessary language to have in a motion. It's a job description we're approving. And we'll figure out how it gets paid for next budget, the budget after that, and the budget after that. Or we may say, it's not going to be approved and you need to cut a person somewhere. So,
That's perfectly
it's
fine.
unnecessary to have it in the court, in my opinion.
Is this somebody you already have identified? Do we have a candidate already?
Oh, I have several deputies. We'll do a process, interview and stuff like that. I have several guys in option. But like I said, this isn't something a rookie can do. This has to be a good experienced officer. We have several that can do it.
Well, just to clarify, you're really providing full disclosure to us because this is what we have to do on nearly everything that we're funding with grants. We don't know if we're going to get the grant the following year or not. And I appreciate you warning us about it. But at the same token, this is a position that's approved in the budget, and we're using these grant funds, the OLS funds, to pay for this position at this time. And we hope to be able to do that in the future. But if we don't, we're going to be back here at the podium asking us to take a look at this.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
You want to make a motion with cleaned up language?
Take that out, continue to fund.
I would make a motion that I guess the question, the wording you have approved funding and job description, so it's really just approving the job description.
Yes, sir.
So it's not the funding's in.
Right. The second part of that language, we don't need.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the job description for Operation Lone Star Criminal Interdiction Deputy for the current budget year.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Actually, I'll delete that for the current budget year because it's not, it's just approving it.
We're approving the position.
Period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
approving, yeah.
I think I understand the sheriff's issue here in trying to recruit somebody to fill this position. They want to be assured that it's not a
Of course.
one-year
Exactly.
job and that they have some jobs.
Correct. And when that comes, whether it be a year or 3 years down the road, I don't know what,
Sure.
you know, I got to work with at that time, but, you know, we'll make something happen.
Yeah.
But again,
I think we all appreciate that.
Your full disclosure to this court is, you consider this to be a permanent position and you're going to be asking to keep it filled.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Hoping to intend on funding it through a grant.
Understand.
Well, what we're doing, we're taking a position and changing the job description for that. We're taking a position and changing that position.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion and a second? Any other discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Thanks, Sheriff. Item 1.16 will be passed at this time. Item 1.17, consider, discuss, and take appropriate act to authorize one-time stipend to employees for assistance with grading step schedule. Mr. Letts.
We'll try to do it without executive session, we may have to, we'll see how it goes. Trying to get the second grade schedule worked out this past year. I think four members of the court were very aware it was quite a task for a number of reasons. Two people helped with that, and was not within their job description at all. They spent a fair amount of time doing it. One of them, I went out on a limb and said that we would pay for that, for their assistance. The other person didn't make a comment to, but I think to be fair, really, it should be those two people should get it. It's $335 each, what I'm recommending. And if we want to talk about individual employees, we can go into closed session.
Does this sound kind of vague? We can't talk about the days that we do have to go to the executive session.
Correct.
But this was when we were looking at how to compensate people to recruit and retain employees. There were those that volunteered to help us, and this is a stipend to pay them on the side for their assistance. Some of it had to do with various certifications.
Yeah, and it was just, I mean, the two employees that did it had expertise that helped, but it wasn't part of their job description at all. I mean, they were in different departments completely than HR.
And it was truly invaluable. This is the reward for their volunteer work.
And you didn't have to go outside to get that.
Right. And $335 was well worth it.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we authorize a stipend, a one-time stipend of $335 to two employees that assisted, and HR's, I'll make HR aware of the two employees so they don't
Second.
clean up their names.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the step and grade assistance as explained. Any other discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Carries. Okay, we move on to the approval agenda. Item 2.1, budget amendments.
Yes, you have before you 8 budget adjustments, and they're just line item adjustments.
I move for approval.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the budget amendments as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. 2.2, paid bills.
Invoices for today's consideration amount to $1,066,198.97.
Do we have a motion to approve bills as presented?
So move to approve.
And a second?
I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve paying the bills as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. 2.3, late bills.
There are not any.
2.4, auditor reports.
Yes, y'all have received 2 internal audit reports, one for the Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, and one for Environmental Health Department. We're asking that you accept the reports.
Move to accept the reports.
Second.
As submitted.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the reports as submitted. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Monthly reports.
Yes, September 2023 Treasurer's Report, Tracy Sullivan. October 2023 Animal Services, Director Reagan Gibbons. Veteran Services, Director Jennifer Sanchez. I move for approval.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the monthly reports as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Item 2.6, court orders.
We have the court orders from our November 13th meeting. 40299 through 40329, and court order 40330 from our November 20th meeting. The only one that I had was a slight question on, and I'm not sure if the language was on 40324. This is in relation to the Almany Road interlocal agreement. There's no something, I think Mooney's misspelled. I don't think there's an E in Mooney.
There is.
There is an E?
I think there is.
Okay. There's no problem, that's okay. Okay, there is one. The question was, there was a language that was not included at the very end, and that is that to add, this ILA is subject to project moving forward. That was not on the original one that I received, and that should be in there, and that was on the revised.
There was discussion along those lines, but it wasn't in the original motion.
I thought it was in the motion.
It was.
It was in the motion.
Yes, you inserted it, if I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
you brought it up.
Yes.
We need to go back and include it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're just adding the language, this ILA is subject to the project moving forward.
Yeah, the portion I think Commissioner Paces was talking about was, we added in and court approval or something. We took that back out.
Right.
That's where I was a little confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to make it also subject to court approval, but that was not.
Right.
Okay.
But there's language for that.
Yeah, there's plenty of language that gives us opportunities to approve.
So with all that, do I make a motion?
Not yet.
I'll make a motion to approve court order with that one amendment to 40324.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the court orders as presented with the amendment that was made.
And what about the order that we just amended today? Do we need to say anything about that?
No, I don't, I mean, because that goes on our next group of minutes.
Okay.
We could, to make it clearer, delete that previous or cancel that previous court order, so there's not two court orders over the Tucker Road. I don't know, do you think we should, or does it make any difference?
You asking me?
No, I'm looking at Heather.
The one who has
Want to
reflect-
rescind that court order and adopt this court order to clarify it? Let me look at the language. What item was that?
12.
12. You could do that on this item.
We could rescind it, the other previous one? Judge, can you go back, well, it won't change the court order, but can you go back, can you recall?
Okay. Listen.
Did we vote on court orders?
We haven't yet.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the court orders as presented with the amendment that we're going to address after this.
Right.
So with that, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Let's go back and call item 1.12, which was the consider, discuss, take appropriate action to amend court order number 40313 to include the requirements as outlined in the Transportation Code regarding the mall and not. So what do we want to do with that?
You gotta rescind court order, I gotta find what the court order
40313.
Yeah, but we're rescinding the one that we have.
Instead of amending it, we'll rescind the original and do a new court
We're going to
order.
rescind instead of amend.
So I think that I'll help with that order. I don't know what order was entered before, but I can help with the order to include the language that identifies the Maldonados so that it can be filed in the deed records, like your attorney's asking.
But with that initial court order, we're going to rescind that court order and then do a new one today.
Well, yes.
Well, item 1.12 talks about order number 40313.
Yeah, that's the one we want to rescind.
Okay, and what we originally did was amend,
In the stack that you have.
and what we now passed, we're gonna go back and rescind 40313.
That's what I said a minute ago.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second on that?
Yes.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Let's move
Now
on to-
you need another, now you need to
We just did
We-
that.
have a court order.
We already did it.
We just did that
Okay.
before we did that.
Okay.
So who did the first and second on that though, sorry?
I was the second.
I did.
Let's move and Harris second. Move.
Who's up there?
Case is on third. Moving on, the information agenda, 3.1, status reports from department heads. Don't have any in the room, not many. Moving on, 3.2, status reports from elected officials. And 3.3, status reports from liaison commissioners.
Just a couple things, you know, we've already talked about it a little bit, but we have formed a committee to work on the review and hopefully improvement of our STEP system. And we have another meeting on Wednesday, we've already had, I think, 2. And just, I wanted to add in a little bit of comment for the record on the eclipse planning. Eclipse planning continues, but we are in good shape. We're still expecting a very large turnout on April 8th, despite the relatively small turnout for the October annular eclipse. But that went as expected, hence our expectations for April. We'll continue planning around that. We're expecting a big crowd. That's it.
Yeah, I got something involved, a couple of mine. If y'all haven't seen it, out there at the exhibit hall, our maintenance crew put in a window for the office area, but for Jake and them, and where people can just come up to a window and be receptive. It gives them more room, gets all of them room inside that room to have their desk, all 3 of them out there. Plus, it freed up another area, which was the initial problem of storing the liquor from time to time. They have a place to store it now and keep it locked up and what have you. So it looks great. Both of the maintenance did an outstanding job with it, and it was very low cost to us, and it just helped things flow much easier out there.
Saved a lot of money. I mean,
Yes, it
the,
did.
The whole thing, because TAGC said we have to be able to lock up the liquor. We didn't have a place. So
Yeah.
it saved us a whole bunch.
Okay, any other commissioner reports? Okay, with that, we have what, 1 item in executive session?
There are 3.
3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we've got 4.1 will be consultation with the attorney. 4.2 will be personnel matters. A is with a personnel issue, district deputy clerk. And B is a salary adjustment in ACSO. Those are the items that will be in executive session. And the time is now 10:37. And we're going to executive session. Before we come back to order, I understand we're going to follow up on agenda item 1.15, which is consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve funding in the job description for Operation Lone Star Criminal Interdiction Deputy. Sheriff.
Okay, Commissioner List, I just want to be a little more clear. This wasn't in last year's budget that we're in month 2 on. This is a position I'm asking for, we'll make clear, added to my budget, but I'm able to pay for it through Operation Lone Star, that and all the roll-ups. So, it's kind of like the part-time position, but that's a new position, but it's all able to be paid for through Operation Lone Star.
It's in the current year budget.
The position is.
That's where,
Well, it was,
It's a different position, but a
It's a changed
position.
job description of an
Yeah.
existing position.
no, it's a new position. So, well, Tina's not in here. So,
Does she need to be?
Let me
Yeah.
get her just to be safe.
well, she'll be here in a minute. So when we're going through the budget process, and we had that, we had the workshops, we talked about new positions. She said because it is a grant-funded position, it's a position that we didn't have to present during the budget period because wasn't being paid for with the budget that y'all had approved. Now, at that time, there was no money because the grant had not been awarded yet. So the position was not there until we knew that the grant was being awarded and y'all accepted the funds. So now that you've accepted the funds and approved the positions, they will present a budget for Operation Lone Star for this period. Does that make sense? Because it technically is a new position.
And that's what happens when you get a grant. You can create a budget outside of the normal county budget process to create a budget for those grant funds that come at a later time.
I'm okay with it, yeah, I'm okay with doing it.
Tanya, we were just clarifying, because I think Commissioner Les there was confusion that we had reclassified a position, but this is a new position paid for through grant funding. We just want to make sure that's clarified.
And there is, and this may have been what Heather was saying, there is a local government code section that allows us for a grant to, whenever we receive the grant, we can put the budget in for it at that time. So that's what we're following with all of the grants. Because many of them, we don't know by budget time if we're gonna get them or not.
Okay.
that's it, thank you.
Are you wanting the court order to read any, because what it would read now, unless you're changing it, is just approving the job description. Do you want it to say job description and
The
position?
motion, you're correct, the motion needs to say,
Okay, so wait a minute. You're getting ready to make a motion, right?
I'm gonna amend the motion that I made earlier.
Okay.
Let's have a little more wording to it.
The earlier motion was to approve the job description, and I want to add to approve funding, which is from a grant, and approve the job description. That's my motion.
Second. So we've got a motion and a second
Or amended.
to amend the motion. That not only included approving the job description, but approves the funding and the job.
Funding from a grant.
From a grant.
Operation Lone Star.
Operation Lone Star. So, we've got a motion, an amended motion and second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Thanks.
Okay. Now, moving on to action that may be required from executive session. First one is A, which is to take action that may be required on medical executive session. And the first one is the personnel issue in the district clerk's office.
Yes, we have a position, a deputy clerk position at a 16-1. We want to move that to a 15-1.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the personnel change in the district clerk's office as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
You're looking like you're puzzled on that.
Let me-
No, it's good. It doesn't need a budget adjustment. She just has more money there, so.
Right, we're just moving one day.
And for the public out there, our other deputy clerks are at a 15-1, and she's looking at hiring a new one, and for some reason that position was at a 16-1, so they won't bring the new person in at the same
rate as other people in the office.
But in the interest of full disclosure, she's gonna come back for a budget change next year.
Request.
Okay. Now, the next item we have is the salary adjustment for 2 employees in KCSO.
They're on that sheet, I wasn't there. That's already sealed.
Well,
One was for,
one is to increase an investigator that is present, if I may.
go ahead.
Increase an investigator who is at a 25, grade 25, step 5 investigator position to a, at step 12, where he is right now. And that would increase that to a step 13, for that investigator. The investigator would be at a.
That's the second one, that's the second.
That one's the 2 steps. Right?
Deputy Reyes?
Okay.
I got that one.
Yeah, okay.
Make a motion to authorize the sheriff to hire an employee with a 2-step increase based on prior experience.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to allow the sheriff to hire an employee with a 2-step increase as requested.
That's right, isn't it?
It's from a 9 to an 11,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. And the second one on that is the one we were just talking about, and that was the investigator that is presently at a grade 25, step 12, and increase that to a step 13.
No, sir.
Oh, so moved. Well, actually, is there a correction?
No, sir. Lee's at a 11, and the question was to go to 12 or 13.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
He's right, he's right.
From 11 to 12. No. Some of y'all wanted to go to. Some did.
Well,
Make the motion. Flexible. I made it to
what I wrote down.
One step.
one step.
I'm
I had
going to
one
take the
step.
investigators here. I got a senior investigator with, that was at a step 25, I mean, a grade 25, step 12. And we've got another investigator at a step 25, at 13.
I took the same notes.
So I think we have to go from, we want to bring the other investigator up to a step 13.
Well, 2 of us.
Well,
I said the 12, but I meant out.
No, but to make it equal.
it's 13.
Yeah. You
Oh,
s-
equals?
Yeah,
Okay,
equal-
okay.
equal-
So
equal-
was 13.
Equal is 13.
Okay.
And there was some discussion possibly going to 14, but I don't know where the 40 is on that.
Well, it's time for a motion.
Okay.
Hold on.
My motion was,
He's not quite. with
No,
us yet.
I think it's 1 from 12 to 13.
I'll take
I took
that.
notes.
But, I want y'all
You
know.
started off with this, but then you changed it to here. So I'm confused. Because you did start off with the
That's what mine say the same thing.
What I have, let's see, just want to make sure.
That's what this chart says.
Oh, I think you. Okay.
No names,
That
please.
investigator, yeah, is one investigator's at a 25, step 12.
Right.
Okay.
And one's at a 25, 13.
One's at 11. Yeah.
What is it?
If we need to take a break, this is important.
Yeah, it is. I need to verify this.
Okay, why don't we take a 5-minute
5-minute break. That's-
and get it right?
Yeah.
just want to slightly amend that, the wording of the first, my first motion is that we're adjusting the salary, it's not for a new hire.
Right. Second. I agree.
So that's really an amendment.
Yeah.
And you second that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Those in favor of the amended motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that was done.
And that was the yeah, okay.
Right, Sheriff.
Okay. Okay, one investigator is at a grade 25, step 13. The one. The one in question is at a grade 25, step 12.
Right.
Okay. So the question is if you want to give one or two. There you go. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
I thought you already did.
Well, I was knowing that, I was talking, but I never made a motion.
We never got it, we never.
Never got
a formal motion.
got it out. Thoughts on nothing.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we adjust the investigator's salary by 1 step to grade or step 13.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? I think there's still the concern whether or not that's sufficient.
You got one, the one we're adjusting as more experience, and you're adjusting him up to the guy he trained, basically, on some of that.
The motion may not pass, so.
Yeah, or you could make a different motion. Nobody did.
We could have to vote on that motion.
Now we have to vote on this one.
No, you don't.
Or we can amend it.
I moved to amend it from a 13 to a 14.
He's asking if you'll agree to that.
Well, it's not.
It doesn't matter what I agree to, it's not
Right.
It gets 3 votes.
Well, that amendment would need a second.
I'll give it a second.
Okay. So we're gonna vote on the amendment first?
Yeah.
Well,
The amended.
the new motion with the
Motion.
amendment. The motion
No,
with the
no,
amendment is
it's
what
a-
you're gonna vote
it's
on.
an
We haven't passed the amendment yet.
Amendment, because we didn't agree.
We have a
to it.
motion and a second to pass the amendment. So that has to come first.
Okay.
So on the amendment, which would be to a 14, not a 13. Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Those opposed?
Aye.
I said aye already, not for the opposed, I
Okay.
went along with it.
So it's 4-1.
So that passed 4-1. Any other matters before the court? If being none, we are adjourned.